What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Tyler.
And Mike, and this high school track and field video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company, and all of our track coverage this year is sponsored by an anonymous donation in honor of Ron Alice.
And Ron Alice used to coach here, Mike. We're here at Long Beach Poly for the 2024 Moore League Track Finals. Poly hosting this event for the first time in decades. It's been at Vets and then most recently at Wilson. Not as many seats at this venue, but the fans are much closer to the action. Speaking of the action, let's get right to it with the relay. Girls 4x1.
So much speed on the track, the fans can feel the wind go by them down the home stretch. The Jackrabbits are going to start with Layla Holland, who makes up the stagger quickly and passes it off to Jalen Hunter, who takes off for Poly. Jackrabbits and Wilson, two very strong 4x1s. Actually, both relays at both those schools very, very strong, and obviously have had a ton of postseason success over the years. Anaya Brooks for Poly is going to maintain the lead and give it to Brooklyn Lee, and she has been a killer on the home stretch anchor leg for Poly this year. Lakewood transfer motors them to a 46-49 win. Wilson at 47-74, Jordan 48-93, all three going to CIF.
Now to the boys 4x1. Julius Johnson, Juju, going to open up for Poly in the middle, and then as he gets around the curve here, he's going to hand it to super freshman Ben Harris. We're going to get to see a lot of Ben Harris in this video, and this is a good race between Poly and Wilson with Jordan close by in third, but look at Harris take off on the backstretch.
Jalen McNeil's third leg is going to help Poly add some cushion, and then the freshman Dante Wright closes it out for the Jackrabbits. Pretty good Frosh soft 4x1 for Poly there. Runs a 41-42, Wilson 42-15, Jordan in third.
Now to the girls 1600, so a little flashback to cross-country season. So we're going to see some familiar names in this race, but unfortunately no Nadia Mejia for Milliken. Wilson freshman Riley Jones out there in the lead, but Avery Peck, just after the half-mile point, makes her move into the lead. Ran a patient race. Natalie Maas in second with one lap left, and you can see the gap opening up for the sophomore Avery Peck as she's going to pull away for the win for Poly. 5:02.74 for the win. Maas, a PR 5:08.93, and Jones in third, PR for her 5:11.68.
We go to the boys 1600, and as you said, some familiar faces from the fall. He's wearing sunglasses, but it's still Jason Parra. Kind of the last chance to see this field together, because Parra would race right out to the front as he likes to do. Just past the midway point, you can see the margin as we pan back here. Parra, man, just different. Obviously has been so accomplished in the Moore League and the postseason as he passes the bell. Letting everyone know he's in first. He would finish in a flurry, 4:12.47. for one of the top times in the state.
Rams going to sweep the top four, so impressive showing from them, just like we saw in the cross-country season. Ramirez, Ransom, and Brown for Milliken, more from Parra later. Let's go to the girls 100 hurdles. Great field here, and all from Poly and Wilson. So that's the only two schools in this race. Kaylin Edwards in lane 5 for the Bruins. Anise Becker for Poly in lane 6. A very close race and a very fast race. Edwards and Becker neck and neck. It'll be Edwards for Wilson, winning by just 0.03 of a second. 14.73 over Becker, 14.76. And then Jemiah Sanders for Wilson, 15.01. A lot of great times. Top 6 in this race, all going to CIF.
Wilson Jr. Lauren Webster in the long jump. A great jump here, but how great, Tyler? It's 20 feet 9.5 inches, and that is the top mark in California this year. It's so hard to get field events because the track events happen all the time,
right.
But we picked a good one to get with the state leading mark from Webster.
Yeah, I stumbled on a good one. That was dictionary work there. Top contenders from Wilson and Poly in this race. Wilson sophomore Brooke Blue in the middle of the track. Poly's Jalen Hunter to her right as we're here in the 400. Blue going to hold on for the win, but Hunter would close some ground late to make that closer. 55.81 is the win for Blue. Hunter 56.04. Those are both top 25 in the state. Samaya Venardo for Wilson 56.63. Malaya Hardiman for Jordan 57.47.
We go to the boys 400, JT Kramer, and a lot of talent on the Wilson and the Jackrabbits
Yeah, you can just
here.
run down basically everybody in this race, right?
For sure. JT Kramer, J-Ron Harris, Noah Smith, Zy Ricks, plus Wilson freshman Caden Burrows in 6. And really, all of those guys deserve to be running in the postseason. And spoiler alert, they all will be. The Georgia-bound senior Ricks running well on the left, but so is the 9th grader Burrows. Ricks on the Nike Elite Team, one of the top high school athletes in the country. But a wall of maroon and green coming at you. Wilson and Poly sweep top 7. Top 5 were all in the top 50 in the state, but it's Burrows who edges Ricks 47.66, top 10 time in the state. Rick's giving him some love. Impressive, very impressive accomplishment from Burroughs.
Now to the girls 100. Polly looking to build on their win in the 4x1. Their anchor leg, Brooklyn Lee, versus the lead leg, Layla Holland, right in the middle of the track. A very close race as you'd expect. Brooklyn Lee in lane 6 would lean for the win, 11:98 with a PR. Holland in second, 12:03. Amaya Rice from Lakewood, 12:10 in third. Polly's Anaya Brooks, 12:13 in fourth.
We go to the boys 100, and all eyes on the freshman. Keep an eye on lane 6, the superstar freshman Ben Harris coming right at you. The best in the state so far this year. Polly with 3 freshmen and a sophomore out there. Harris would end up winning comfortably with a time of 10:88, cruising to a 10:88. Julius Johnson, 11:01. Drew Johnson, 11:07 from Wilson. And then Dante Wright Jr. from Poly in 11:10.
Now to the girls 800, and keep an eye on Poly freshman Shariah Lewis-Williams. She's the top qualifier. Starts out trailing Wilson's Elisa Gonzalez in this lead pack. As you can see on the bell lap, it's really anyone's race in this top 5, all kind of bunched up together. That's when Lewis-Williams made her move to the front ahead of Wilson's Juanita Shotwell. And SL Dub would hold on, 2:16.72 for the win. Shotwell, 2:17.40. Rodriguez, 2:18.91. And then Jones for Wilson, 2:19.12. Great run for the freshman.
For sure, we go to the boys 800, and again, a lot of big names in this one. This is a huge race for Wilson. The senior Harvard signee JT Kramer out in front. Watch teammate Wylan Obando shooting up into second place.
Kramer going to have to step on the gas to hold him off, but he would, as the Bruins would sweep the top 3. 156.56 for Kramer. Wyland Obando, 157.11. Cash Obando, 158.95. Now to the girls 300 hurdles. I'm already kind of out of breath, and I can't imagine running these hurdles. Wilson Jr. Kaylin Edwards, the favorite in this one, and out to a great start, but got to watch out for Poly Senior and East Becker. This is a great finish to this race, Mike.
Well, and it's tough, again, like we saw with Ricks being pushed. I mean, Edwards really the best in the state in this, but she is absolutely being pushed. 2 hurdles left. Edwards chops her feet, clips the hurdle. Anise Becker continues to chase her down. Close finish coming up. Becker keeps the momentum and gets the comeback win, 46.63, edging Edwards in 43.90, both California top 10 times.
Pretty impressive. Now to the boys 300 hurdles. This is another 2-horse race, but with a pair of Wilson Bruins. Does that make it a 2-Bruin race?
Yeah.
Seniors Sedwitz Dumont and Ethan Barty well ahead of the field. These two went neck and neck in the 100 hurdles earlier in the day. Unfortunately missed that race, but we got a great second edition. Dumont in lane 5, Barty on his outside hip down to the wire. Dumont wins by 100th of a second, 39.46 over Barty, 39.47. Wow, what a great finish.
Absolutely. We go to the girls 200, a very fast race. There are 5 Poly runners in this field, and you've got some of the fastest runners in the state, all sophomores and juniors in this rate. It's Nevaeh Lewis for Poly in lane 7, coming off that curve with an attitude. Lakewood's Amaya Rice in lane 4, charging hard down the backstretch. Poly's Brooklyn Lee in lane 3, but Lewis is going to hold them off, winning by 100th of a second over Rice, 24.77, Rice 24.78, Lee 24.80, Brooke Blue 24.82. 7 runners in this race going to CIF.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Now, big race for Poly here in the boys 200. They had the top 4 finishers here, and it's again freshman Ben Harris looking for that sprint double. He's going to lead off the curve with teammates Julius Johnson, Zy Ricks, and Jalen McNeil in hot pursuit. But Harris would not be caught, a 22 flat, as Poly lines up the top 4, Johnson, Ricks, and McNeil in that order, finishing behind him. That freshman is a dude.
Absolutely. We go to the girls 3,200 a few minutes later as the sun has set here on the east side.
Things have changed a little.
Rematch of Avery Peck versus Natalie Moss from the miles. Again, as Tyler mentioned, Nadia Mejia, unfortunately for Milliken, out with an injury. Peck in the lead, but she's got a problem. You want your muscles to be loose, Tyler, not your laces.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, we were all worried about Avery Peck this entire race, but she did great. She won 11:09.43. Got the distance double, did not fall, and couldn't wait to get the gloves off and tie those shoes up. Maybe
Absolutely.
Double knot them, triple knot them. I don't know.
You gotta put the noodles away. Boys 3,200, another chance for Parra to show out wearing the sunglasses at night. We asked him if he needed them, and he said, "I don't need them, but I like them." whatever he likes, he gets. He's obviously been the guy in the Moore League for the last 4 years, able to lap some of the field and finish off his distance double. Thumbs up right back at you, 8:54.56.
Final event of the day, girls 4x4. Polly and Wilson's the favorite here, and the Bruins going to take the early lead on the first leg. Kaylin Edwards going to take the baton for Wilson. Polly's Jalen Hunter going to take it for the Jackrabbits. Good leg for both, as Edwards is going to keep the Bruins in front, but these races can change, Mike, as they get into the later legs. Polly's Aaliyah Stokes with a great third leg to help make up the gap, and it sets up a very exciting anchor between two really, really quality teams that are going to be competing for the next month or two.
For sure, and it's Nevaeh Lewis for Polly, the 200-meter champion, closing the relay with a strong anchor for the Jackrabbits. They win it by 0.2 of a second with a really exciting finish. Polly 3:51.26, Wilson 3:51.46, and now it's nap time. I'd say so. It's been a long day at the track.
You've earned it after that, right? You definitely earned that rest. Final race of the day, Polly, Wilson, Jordan, Milliken, and Cabrillo, all with relay teams here. Polly and Wilson in front, neck and neck after the first leg. And we always love this, right? Darion Shufford for Polly, keeping pace with Wilson's J-Ron Harris, who's got head and shoulders lead in height, but that doesn't really help you go faster. But still, Wilson out in front, but Polly with a killer waiting on the anchor. That's Zyrix.
Yeah, I mean, that's Michael Myers, that's Jason Voorhees, that's whatever you want to call him. That's the guy that you would not want to line up next to. There's a pretty big lead there, but Ricks, I mean, oh my, here he comes in high gear to bring home the win, the Georgia signee, showing why he's one of the best in the country. 3:17.12, Wilson 3:18.12, and again, we're going to have a lot of coverage of both of those relays over the next month.
Yeah, no individual wins for Ricks today, but he showed his talent on the relay, and we will definitely see more from him as we move forward, and excited to carry on to CIF again at Moore Park, and then, of course, on to the state meet. You know, the 562 will be there to provide you all the necessary coverage of track and field. It's lining up to be another great year for Long Beach out on the track.